Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finale of the Global Solutions Summit 2021. It's been incredible, exciting and interesting 48 hours with a packed program, and now we want to wrap it up with you and of course with my guest, Susanne Staufer. She's the Managing Director of the Global Solutions Initiative Foundation. Hi, Susanne.
Hey, Katie.
And with me also in the studio is Dennis Görlich. He's the Research and Program Director of the Global Solutions Initiative. Hi, Dennis.
Hi.
How are you feeling after 48 hours of such a packed program? Susanne.
To be honest, a little bit relieved, but excited at the same time after a great 48 hours.
48 hours, 2 days, incredible. Dennis, how are you feeling? How is the pulse?
Well, it was nice because I've actually met many friends and familiar faces, albeit just virtually, but it was better than nothing, right? We would normally meet here, obviously, but this isn't possible, so I was glad to see them anyhow.
Absolutely, the best version that was possible. Susanne, give us some stats. So I was just mentioning 48 hours of a packed program. What else do you have?
Fortunately, I have a great team in the background which just printed out some numbers for me, so I can give you the exact stats actually. So it's been 40 sessions, inspiring ones, 20 keynotes, more than 200 speakers, amongst others, the German Chancellor Merkel, the Italian Prime Minister Draghi, Secretary General of the UN Guterres, OECD Secretary General Gurria, ministers from Indonesia, Germany, Italy. We had G20 Sherpas. We had definitely a packed program these past days. I think we had 6,500 participants watching, participating, networking, being on our platform, communicating, exchanging ideas, exchanging solutions. So yeah, it was definitely a packed 48 hours, the last ones. And
wow, congratulations to these beautiful and so exciting numbers. Over 6,500 participants. That's amazing for a digital event. So congratulations to the whole team. Coming to you, Dennis, I mean, the big framework is, of course, the T20 and the G20 framework. How important do you see, or which importance do you see, has the Global Solutions Summit in this whole framework, in the process of going forward into the G20 process?
Yes. Let me first say how important the T20 is for us, actually, because obviously we are not inventing this entire program on ourselves and on our own, but we have a lot of help from partners, in particular from the T20 network, that brings in just a lot of input. They design sessions together with us. They bring their researchers. They tell us what's important, where science or where the research is at the moment. And what we are basically then only trying to do is to connect them with stakeholders from business, from politics, and to make their recommendations heard, to basically make our recommendations sound in terms of a scientific process that underlies it. And this is, I think, for us, the most important asset that we have. And we hope, of course, that here with our platform, we have something where the research that has been done there can be communicated and can then be implemented from here and discussed further. We think that our big aim, as you know, is the idea of recoupling economic prosperity, social prosperity, and environmental sustainability. And we know a lot of the solutions, and it's the T20 network and, of course, other researchers around the world who know or who have developed recommendations and ideas how this can be done. And we want to be a place where all these things can then be brought, say, to the street, where the implementers are present and can discuss these ideas and take them to the next step.
So you really bring the stakeholders together and, of course, to discuss and debate further.
Yes, indeed.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dennis. You were mentioning already a big community of the global solutions makers, so to say. So, Susanne, I'd like to come back to you because, of course, it's a big global solutions family that stands behind the Global Solutions Summit. Who's actually behind the scenes?
There's actually many people behind the scenes. And I think I really want to thank all of you, all the people behind the scenes, the whole community, in particular, obviously, the Italian T20 and G20, our speakers, our moderators, who made this whole event actually happen and who filled it with content, with ideas, with solutions. I want to give a big, big thank you to our partners who are obviously also playing an incredible role, especially in these not easy times. I really have to say thank you for their great flexibility, for their support throughout this whole year, more than a year of pandemic. Without them, we could obviously not make this whole event happen. There are more groups, obviously, in the GSI community. We have our incredible network of young global changers. We have the Global Solutions Fellows. We do have the Council for Global Problem Solving, so also a big, big thank you to all of them. They were all involved here these past days, and without such a great network, without such a great community, we could never, with our little team of 20 people, be able to actually make such an event happen, such a summit happen. I also want to thank all of the participants, of course, to all of you. A big, big thank you out there for participating, for actually taking the chance to network, to be around in discussions groups, in the sessions, on the chat, and to really, really network and engage, which is more difficult, obviously, in a non-on-site environment. But I think it worked out quite well, and I'm happy that we had the chance to bring this community together. So thanks to all the participants. And last but definitely not least, a big, big thank you to Dennis Snower, to our GSI president, who's the brain, the heart, the soul behind this whole initiative, the founder of the Global Solutions Initiative, and an incredible team. I just said it's a team of 20 people, so it's not a big one. And I really want to thank all of them for their creative ideas, for their, for going through this definitely not easy period of remote working situation, coordinating everything from all around the world, basically from the US to Germany to Italy. I really want to say big, big thank you to all of them, because I think without this whole community, without the team, we could not have made the summit such a success and such 2 great days as we have seen it.
Wow, Susanne, I've got goosebumps. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, she was talking also about you, the audience, a big Global Solutions family. Thank you to everybody who was involved and who is still involved behind the scenes, but of course in the audience. Coming up, of course, to the calendar, Susanne, I'd like to ask you, we have now May 2021, but which date do we have to mark in our calendar in the next year? What's coming up? 2022?
2022 is coming up, and I hope and I pray that we will be able to meet up here in the ESMT Berlin in 2020 on the 28 and 29 March 2022. That's when the next Global Solutions Summit is going to take place. And I really look forward to greet all of you, to greet the whole community, everyone I just mentioned there, and to come back together on site physically, to have coffee breaks together, to take lunch together, to have meetings in the background, and to make this again a physical and an on-site situation and summit.
And to see each other face to face, maybe without a mask, but also seeing the smiles, right? Wonderful, thank you so much. So we mark our calendars. Ladies and gentlemen, March 2022, that's the place to be here in Berlin at the ESMT. 2022 will be coming up. Dennis, talking about emotions, talking about highlights, what do you share with us? What has been a highlight from your side? When you were following along the program, when you were listening to all the debates, maybe when you were diving into the networking chat sessions, what's coming up when I ask you for highlights?
You know, what was really striking, I thought, was that when you heard like the keynotes by politicians and others, when you heard the panel discussions, is how much consensus there was to some extent about our idea of recoupling economic and social prosperity, environmental sustainability. So this is really deeply embedded today in the agenda of politics and business and the society. And this is, I think, definitely good news. And this was resounding basically in every session we have heard, I think. And this was amazing. This was important. It was echoed by Chancellor Merkel. It was echoed by Prime Minister Draghi this morning. And they also, again, stressed an important thing, that is that global problems can only be solved globally, right? When we work together by international cooperation. And so it cannot be said often enough, I think, that this is important. This is also why we are here, of course, but it's obviously also an issue that we had problems with in the past, right? And that we still always have to make sure of ourselves that we need to work together on these things in order to make progress. And this was striking, I think, to see so much alignment there.
Absolutely.
And another thing, if I may, I've seen many of our young global changes in the discussion groups and being very active and bringing like really international, fresh voices to the debates, being very curious, asking speakers in our discussions questions that are not easy to answer for them. And this is important, and I hope this can continue like that. And I would like to see many more of that in the future.
Absolutely, not giving up in questioning every single bits and pieces to find really the global solutions bringing us forward, right?
Definitely.
Susanne, when I ask you what made your heart dance in the past 48 hours, when you look back on the program, and of course when you look on the process of the Global Solutions Summit, what is it? What's your highlight?
Well, you know, actually today is May 28, 2021. And exactly 100 years ago, my grandfather was born. He was born in Bavaria. So he would have turned 100 years today. And when I'm wondering how I do want the world to look like when I'm 100 years old, I actually think about a world where economic prosperity actually goes hand in hand, is actually recoupled with all the societal needs of society, with the environmental sustainability, with the nature, with the environment where we live in. And this is basically the motivation I have. That's why we do this whole thing here. That's why we set that all up. And that's, I think, what drives us, what drives me, what drives the community, what drives the team. What is, I think, came to the Global Solutions Initiative by our president, Dennis Snower, but also Markus Engels, our Secretary General, who cannot be here today, unfortunately. And I think that's what drives us. That's what we have in mind when we think about the Global Solutions Initiative. And I really, really hope that the world can look like that once I'm turning 100 years old.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing this with us. Susanne and Dennis, thank you for these closing remarks. And this means we are coming to an end of this year's Global Solutions Summit 2021. Mark your calendar by the end of March of 2022. I can't wait to see you again. And now let's continue the debate and the burning questions for the global solutions that we need to change the world for the better with the hashtag Global Solutions and of course on all the social media challenges. And the social media channels, they are waiting for you, of course. And I can't wait to read your tweets and your questions and to continue debate online. Thanks for watching us in the past 48 hours. Thanks for being engaged. And of course, for raising questions, for not giving up to find global solutions for a better world that we need to go ahead. And I see you soon in 2022. All the best for you. Stay healthy and of course, stay curious.